Aston Villa 2, Tottenham 0. What a result and what a victory for Villa away from home. Emery's third victory in 4 games. Unbelievable. What a display. Especially that second half. It was different level. Played so well second half. And it's a great 3 points against the Spurs side who have recently been struggling, but they're still, regarded as a top 6 side. So yeah, it's a brilliant result. And we deserved it second half. We were the better team. Simple as that. Oh, amazing result. Every fan that went down there must have just loved it, absolutely loved it. The atmosphere was class. All you could hear was Villa fans singing on the TV. That's all you could hear. Spurs crowd was dead. The atmosphere was dead. There's nothing going on from Spurs fans. And I can see why, because the football they play is awful. It was terrible. And we took advantage of it second half, which I was thinking at half time, I hope we do, because we hadn't created nothing before that. But we ended up doing that. So first half, there was little to no chances for either side. I think our best chance was when Ollie Watkins went through. He cut inside, he did really well. He did everything that Watkins usually does, cuts inside really well. But he just couldn't finish his opportunity and he's kind of scuffed his shot and he's went wide. For Spurs, the big chance they had was when Perisic went through one-on-one with Olsen. Perisic has done well to keep the ball. Olsen's done well to usher him wide. He's crossed it in for Kane to header. And that guy, Ashley Young, stepped up. Great header to clear it off the line. Superb header. And he had a tremendous game as well. So that was it really from the first half. Villa defended well. For the majority of that first half, we adopted that 6-2-2, 4-4-2 fluidity, which Emery seems to go with now with Villa. And it was just about second half, can we create more chances? Because we were limited in chances that we did create in the first half. We didn't create too many, and boy did we. The first goal, a great goal really. From Emery Buendia. It's great because of Watkins. Watkins makes that goal. Douglas Luiz has had a sharp pot shot really from 25-30 yards out. Hugo Lloris, he always has a mistake in him. Over the years, we've seen it. For France, we've also seen it. Spills it for some reason. I don't know why. Watkins is the first to react. I think it might be Romero's on his arm whilst there, but he first react. He gets in front of him. And then calmness. This is what I love from Watkins at times. He gets a lot of assists because he has calm. When he's not shooting for some reason, he has composure. And he had great composure to pick up Buendia, and Buendia slots it bottom corner. I thought Buendia again was poor in his attacking aspects in the first half. Off the ball, he was great. He was getting about, but on the ball, he was just loose with possession. He tried to lay over one for Watkins once, and Watkins was nowhere near it. He passed one out wide to Digne and didn't look, and he went straight out play for a throw-in. But second half, he was much better, and he ended up getting a goal. Tucked it away nicely, but bottom corner, and the celebrations, the Emmy, great celebration, scenes in the Villa end, and it was 1-0. From then on, Spurs had one big chance really, which was the Perisic shot. I think Yves Bissouma puts a ball in the cross, it kind of loops over, goes through to Perisic, which was too easy really. He's through one-on-one and he just skies it, puts it over the bar. And from then on, Spurs didn't really create anything. And after that, about 10-15 minutes later, Villa make it 2. Wonderful work from Boubacar Kamara. I think the ball goes up to Kane. Kane flicks it to Son. Son plays it back to Kane. Boubacar Kamara comes back, tracks back, takes the ball off him, gives it to Luiz. Luiz drives with the ball a little bit. Pass it to John McGinn. John McGinn with one of the best balls I've seen John McGinn ever play. I didn't know he could do that. It was just such a deft chip-through ball. Back to Luiz. Luiz slots it in, great first touch, and just dinks it past Lloris to make it 2-0. And it's dreamland for Villa fans. It was unbelievable. I didn't expect us to get a win today. I didn't even expect us to get a point, to be honest. I thought it would be a close game, but I thought we'd end up losing because of how Spurs, usually come back in games. But they just capitulated after Douglas Luiz scored. They capitulated. And now that's 3 games out of 4 where we've been in the lead and it's been comfortable. The opposition team haven't created anything. Man United, it was comfortable. Brighton, even though it was 2-1, it was still comfortable. They didn't have no big chances. And today, Spurs, 2-0 up, they had no big chances. It allowed us, to relax. And Emery made some superb substitutions within that. I thought the Cash substitution was good, to double up on that side. Some people may have questioned that, but I thought it was a good substitution just to double up to make sure Son couldn't get forward. And Cash operated as a right winger at Nottingham Forest, and it's something we haven't seen him do at Villa since he's come here. So that was a decent change. And then he, Konza on a booking, off he goes. Luiz injured, off he goes. He also brought on Chambers, I think Bednarak, and there was another sub as well for Coutinho. I think it was Buendia. So Coutinho came on as well. And Coutinho looked bright. That was another positive thing. He looked bright when he came on. He looked like he'd got a yard of pace back. I don't know whether he's been injured for Villa for all this time, but he looked like he'd been well rested, and he had like an extra edge to his game. He was trying to create. He played well, Coutinho, when he came on. That's good for the future. Chambers slotted into the middle, he's played it. And this is something we haven't seen from Villa managers, playing scenarios and situations with players who can play in multiple positions. Cash went right wing. Chambers went centre mid. We've seen him play for Arsenal and Fulham in the DM centre mid role. He went in there. Brendan Mack slotted in at centre back. And it was comfortable. You didn't really notice a change. If anything, we were more on the game because we were trying, I think a few times Coutinho tried to slide a ball through for Bailey. He played in Watkins as well. Watkins, I think, laid it back for a Douglas Luiz shot. He had the other one when Boubacar Kamara as well. He nicked the ball off, I think it was one of the centre-backs, and Watkins was kind of through, and he laid it off again. So we were just creating from, second half. It was so comfortable for Villa, and that's such a big win. I know we're still 12th, but we're 4 points clear now, 13th. I think that's Leicester. And we're only 4 points off 8th. Huge victory in a game I didn't think we'd get anything from. And 3 wins out of 4. You've just got to trust in Unai Emery. Trust it because it's going really well. No transfers yet. None of his players that he wants to get in. He's got a January to do that. Whether we do or don't, we'll have to wait and see. But he's just so tactically good. And he had Conte's number today. Conte's quite rigid, 3-5-2 shape. There's not much going from that. Likes to attack with the wing backs. Likes to get Perisic and Doherty forward. And we just dealt with it throughout the game. And we were fluid in our tactics. And when it needed changing, Emery got it spot on. And it was a comfortable 2-0 victory. What more can you ask for? 2023 starts. First day, Jan the 1st. And Villa are still unbeaten and still haven't conceded a goal. A few notable performances from the game. I thought Rob Olsen was different class today. Before the game, like many other Villa fans, I was a bit apprehensive when I saw he was starting again. Wondered why Martinez wasn't starting. I think that's due to how much he's trained. They expected him to come back on the Thursday. He came back on the Friday, so he only had 1 real 4 days worth of training, which is fair enough. And Olsen claimed everything. Everything he did claim, or anything that hit him, he caught it, held on to it, didn't spill anything. I thought there was a few hesitant moments with his play at the back on the ball from Harry Kane. That was one of them when he nearly closed him down. But apart from that, he kept the ball well. And it was nice to see our centre-backs and our keeper just enjoying possession, keeping the ball. And that's what Emery mentioned in his post-match interview. It's about, maintaining control of games. That's what he wants Villa to do, maintain control of games. And we did that throughout this game today. I thought it was just exceptional, just keeping the ball, which is something I hope we can incorporate a lot at home as well. Because when we do it sometimes at Villa, fans get a bit edgy because we don't trust it, because we're not used to it. And when we do, sometimes we make mistakes. But hopefully now we're starting to experience it and, getting used to Villa can keep the ball in tight situations and tight scenarios, and you just have to encourage it, keep playing, because it helps then draw them forward and create opportunities at the other end through there being more space than there was before from drawing them out by playing with the ball. So yeah, confidence. Olsen's confidence was sky high, really good. I know he didn't have many shots to deal with, but his overall game as a goalkeeper, he did everything he asked for. So top performance from Olsen. I thought Digne and Ashley Young in particular was outstanding in terms of, the overloads they're going to create. You've got your left and right wingers in Hill and Son, and you've also got your wing backs as well in Doherty and Perisic. So they're going to try and create 2-on-1 scenarios out wide. Thought we handled it very well. McGinn and Buendia tracking back as well, helping them defensively, really good. And they didn't cause us any threats out wide, really. We like to operate through the middle. We like to push teams through the middle so they come through our centre-backs and centre midfielders, and we play narrow. But out wide, we didn't have any problems whatsoever. We really dealt with what Tottenham tried to throw at us in an attacking sense. They were playing balls that were going out of play, out for throw-ins, not going to feet. And it was comfortable for Villa. Also, shout out Ollie Watkins again. Every other attribute, bar his finishing, outstanding. It will come. It's one of those. You can't lose a player like that, I don't think, because he does so much. Bar his finishing, he gets us further up the field. And when you don't have a player like Jacob Ramsey playing, you don't have anyone who can really progress the ball with their feet, like from our 25 yards to the opposition's 25 yards, and those 50 yards in between. And we don't really have a ball carrier runner, so we sometimes have to play it long. And Watkins, he'll nudge, barge, he'll show his strength, can play in behind, he can come to feet. He was causing Romero all sorts of problems today. And that's a World Cup winning centre-back. All their three centre-backs got booked as well. We're causing them problems, really hassling them. So Watkins, great play, got an assist as well. Really good game from him. But you have to mention the two in the middle. They were the two best players for me today. The understanding and positional play from both of them was outstanding. Boubacar Kamara, exceptional player. Need I say more? All Villa's fans know we don't know how we got him on a free. He's ridiculous, and for as long as we keep him, it's only up for Villa because he's an outstanding player and he's a top 6 level player. Whether that be with Villa or with another club, we'll have to wait and see. But he's quality. To win the ball back, he won the ball back for the second goal, and he just breaks up play so well. He can ping a ball 50 yards across the field. He can play a nice one too. He's technically great on the ball and sound on the ball. He can drop a shoulder. He can pull a step over and get out of tight situations. He's a quality player. He's a Champions League player, which we got him from Marseille, a Champions League club. He's unbelievable. And today he had another outstanding game. But Douglas Luiz was just my man of the match because he got the goal as well. But great on the ball, looks so elegant on the ball, kept it ticking, nice passes in between him and Kamara, whether it's 1-2s or getting it out wide, just kept the ball ticking, even if we had to go back and restart, held on to it well. He had a lot of recoveries. I think he had 9 recoveries in the game as well. So him and Kamara had a lot of recoveries in the game where if we were losing it up top, they were recovering the ball and we were just regaining possession again. And then Dougie was never a 6 for me. He was always in at 8, 10, just playing further forward as well. And he's like a box-to-box now, and that goal showed it. He's breaking through the lines, going ahead of the strikers in Bailey and Watkins and getting past them and being the furthest forward. And that ball from McGinn was so good. And Dougie did so well. Composure, brought it down and just knocked it past Lloris. So yeah, he showed examples of all 3 parts of the game. Passing ability, interceptions and ball recoveries, and then finishing a great chance and getting on the score sheet. And his GA numbers are just going up now. And hopefully that continues. I think he's the highest now for Villa this season in terms of goals and assists. He has it all, Douglas Luiz, and we've always known it. Arsenal wouldn't be tracking a player of that quality. I know his contract situation was 6 months before he signed a new deal, but he has quality. He's a really quality player, and the more he gets on the ball, and the more he can have more control and leadership in the team, the better we'll see from Douglas Luiz. I've no doubt. You've got a 23-year-old and 24-year-old centre midfielders there. If we can keep them for many, many years, there'll be some formidable centre midfield partnership. I tell you that, because they'll just keep getting better and better. On to Emery, managed the game perfectly. Superb tactical performance. I think he was happy at the end, going from his Sky Sports interview. Made the right decisions, not starting Emery, because Olsen played really well. Substitutions were at the right time. Shored the game up. Just fresh legs. Chambers made a few good tackles, to just slow up play. When Spurs were on the break, he just slowed the game up, something we usually lack, just tactical fouls, ones where you can just break up play. And yeah, he got everything spot on today. It was just a competent, good 2-0, clean sheet, comfortable performance. And full credit to Emery. He's really transformed the side. 3 wins out of 4. 9 points out of 12 from the 4 fixtures we had. I could see 2 points maximum, to be honest. If it was still Gerrard, I could have seen 0 points from those 4, because 2 away wins out of 2. Well, we don't see that. We ain't seen that in years. So incredible for Emery. Now this is where it really starts. It's against the lower teams. Now we've played 4 teams above us, albeit we weren't too high in the table, but it's 4 teams above us. Now we play 4 teams below us, and we'll have to wait and see and how we get on against those sort of teams, because, it's teams, apart from Spurs, to be honest, it's teams that like to come forward and push forward, like to keep the ball as well. But Spurs, they're very defensive in their shape anyway, so it was a good idea of how we play against a side that like to sit back, as Spurs do, and catch on the transition. So hopefully that was a sign of things to come against teams like that. I'm sure Wolves are like, they've got a few players who like to keep the ball as well, but you know, they've got Mateus Nunes who likes to transition. So it'll be a different type of game, I think, against Wolves to the other three. Maybe it might be a bit similar to Spurs because, again, they like to sit back and defend as well. But I think Lopetegui will try and change that tactically with Wolves. I think he's a decent manager and they won't be as defensive as they've been in previous games that we've played them. So yeah, overall great performance. On to Wednesday against Wolves where I'll be at the game. Hopefully another 3 points. If we can get 12 from 15, that would be incredible. You know, 4 wins out of 5 in Emery's first 5 games. 2 wins to start the year would be absolutely incredible. And we can do it. We can show them we can do it. Hopefully the injuries to Douglas Luiz and McGinn aren't too significant and they'll be fit and available for the game. And we're ready to go on Wednesday. I'll be doing a match preview video for the Wolves game, so keep an eye out for that. And yeah, thank you for listening. If you could like, comment, share, and also subscribe to the channel. We'll keep going. Content's going to keep coming out. I'm going to do more things as well. I'm going to have a look at the squad development, who I think should stay, go, loan, and some of the transfers as well, some shorts and some also some videos on what transfers I think Villa should look at. But yeah, overall, fantastic day. What a start, first day of the year. Brilliant performance, brilliant display. 2-0 victory, up the Villa.